Bar-Tal Sports Guide Show is here. NFL Draft night, 10 o'clock, waiting for my co-host Alex Bryant to join me live, and then we'll start our draft coverage, which we might go on until the end of the first round. We should wait and see. Is waiting for Alex Bryant to join me. I'm going to send him the link again. Hey Asian, my friend, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Hope life is treating you well. I hope everyone is having a good night. Thursday night, after 10 o'clock, NFL draft, watching it live over there, which you guys cannot see what am I watching, which is alright, because copyright reason. That is the reason, guys. Copyright. Which, let's see where Alex is. I thought he's going to come at 10 o'clock. Let me just go ahead and make sure he's on. I'm just waiting patiently. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is having a good time watching the NFL draft. I know I am. I know I am. Watching it, seeing it live. So I'm supposed to have an NFL insider join me live any minute from now. His name is Alex Bryant. He has over 25 years covering the NFL. Hi, Galvin. So it's NFL draft night. We're already at 17 picks in. Some surprise, some not. NFL night. We still have plenty of more picks to go before the end of the first round. But myself and Alex Bryant, we thought, let's go live 10 o'clock after Carolina Panthers and other team in the top 10s make their picks, and then we will be able to discuss with you all everything and answer questions. As I am, by the way, wearing Bryce Young number 9 jersey. In case anyone wondering what is that jersey. Let me check again what is going on with Alex Bryant. Yeah, they do, Monkey Jones. They do. Good evening, my friend. They do. They do. But honestly, I would, if I was the Pats, I would have traded up with the Giants and taken Abdul Carter. I really would. So you guys got it. Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, Monkey Johnson. Typically, all linemen, they are not what you call sexy picks, but it's the picks that you truly need. So overall, I think the Pats got a pretty good player, but a couple of players are really dropping down, really dropping down, which I'm kind of baffled that they are dropping down. To be honest with you all, and I'm not talking about Shador Sanders. I'm really not. So I'm patiently waiting for Alex Bryant to join. I'm guessing there is very bad weather in New York City right now because Alex Bryant is in New York City, which might be the reason why he's running behind. And I'm going to check again to see what is going on. While I do that, make sure everyone to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Let's help this channel monetize ASAP. So I'm back. Hopefully, in a second from now, we'll get the chat request from Alex Bryant and he can up in and join live. And while I'm waiting for him, let me share the stream with another. So actually, Mac, actually, the Panthers already made a pick. Panthers already made a pick. Monkey Jones. The Panthers already made a pick, taking wideout from Arizona, Toyota McMullen. That was the pick. Toyota McMullen was the pick by the Panthers. So that is who the Panthers selected with the 8th overall pick. Number. Hey man, what's up? Yeah, yeah, can hear you loud and clear.
So,
Sure.
tight end at 8, like you thought?
Well, I'm wearing the Bryce jersey. Actually, I was planning to wear it before the pick was announced.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm shocked they didn't go with Jalen Walker. To be honest with you,
I am too. I had yo paper ball in the house.
it's both time,
I
even at 10:30.
I mean, I thought it was going to be Walker. I thought it was going to be Walker. It was going to come down to Walker or Tet. I had Williams. Williams was in, so I create my there. It never felt right to me, but I wanted to separate how I felt with like how uh, what the model itself says. But I gotta adjust accordingly. But for me, it always felt like Tet or Walker. But Walker, I am shocked we didn't go Walker. I really am. Every person mocking had us in yesterday. So it's a shock, but it's a good shock. I don't think that was the plan. Honestly, like to be completely honest, I don't think the plan originally was to take Chet. I mean we were in the discussion with so many different receivers as far as vets where I know this for a fact. Whatever anybody else says, take it for what it is. I know we were in conversation for DK. Canales kind of admitted that we were in conversation for T. So you can kind of see the kind of player that he wants or wanted. So Tet was sort of obvious, but you just got kind of got the narrative of it just seemed like it was going to be Walker. I'm shocked. I'm just as shocked as you are, but we turns out we shouldn't have really been that shocked because they've kind of been saying this the whole time that they're looking for a true traditional X receiver.
By the way, one of your favorite wideout just went to the Buccaneers. Amika, Amika from Ohio State.
No, Jenny! Oh my God! No, he's in the conference.
Yep.
What? Wait, so see, this is what I'm talking about. Other teams, and this is why I get so mad when people are like, "No, our wide receiver group is fine." Wide receivers are so freaking valuable. Like, at look at the Bucks. They have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. They just drafted McMillan, and they're still adding. Shador, no, I'm not Shador Sanders. The old Giants guy, Shepard, Shirley Shepard, uh,
But here's the
and they're adding Emeka Egbuka in the first round.
but
Like
here's,
good teams that make the playoffs do this every year.
here's the thing. Shepard has trouble staying healthy throughout his career. Mike Evans is on his last leg of his career,
Well, so
technically.
is Adam Thielen. Like, but people were still talking about we're still good with Adam Thielen.
I mean,
Like,
the thing about Keita, I hope I pronounce his name or Tarauta, I think he's a wine. I think he's from Hawaii. I didn't know that, but
who is?
it, the guys that the Panthers drafted.
What guys? What guys are you talking about? The guy that just got drafted, McMillan?
Not yeah, McMillan
Oh, he's
is
from Hawaii.
yeah. They
Oh, I don't
mentioned,
know.
which is probably why he has a unique name. Taraita. I think we will
Yeah,
probably
Ted. Sorry, that makes sense. Yeah, that is an Hawaiian name. I think. Um,
yeah.
my ignorant brain thinks that that's Hawaii.
So Tata, no, they stated on the broadcast. I think one of the broadcasts that he has like a Hawaiian on ESPN. After they drafted them, they asked him what it feel like to be another player from Hawaii drafted.
Who else was drafted from Hawaii?
Couple of years ago, the quarterback who I think
Oh,
committed,
Tua's out. Yeah, Tua. Yeah,
and
yeah.
also Colt Brennan, rest in peace, years ago.
Mm,
He played
yeah,
quarterback. But anyway,
yeah.
so Tata, his height remind me of Calvin Johnson. His speed also remind me of Calvin Johnson. The only red flag, and I'm wondering if the Panthers actually were the one who released it, where they stated he really doesn't like to practice. I kind of wonder if the
Watch
Panthers,
film. Watch
yeah,
film.
what? Sorry, I wonder if the Panthers would want to release it.
Yeah, it came out. Yeah, probably. I mean, that's what happens in these things, and people take all this stuff so seriously. And Eagles been playing this game for so long. I mean, they just been like 2 days before the draft, and these young GMs get like gunshot. Like it works. It works on some of these young up and coming GMs. So like guys like Howie Roseman are like, yeah, we'll David Tepper does. Like he seems like that kind of guy. So definitely could have. But that came. I mean, the thing is like we hear what we want to hear, right?
Yeah.
If you want to hear that he doesn't like to watch film, then that's what you're going to hear. If you see this dude eating at he's like literally in college. He's 19 years old. He's eating at this college. Does not seem like he cares about who he's talking to at with a college. He's like, yeah, I watch film whenever I'm in the room. You know what? So does every other freshman. Nobody comes in as like a polished guy that's like, oh, I can't wait to go watch film. They're like, no, I want to go out and party with my buddies, man. Like that's what they want to do. Now, when they're juniors and seniors and that happens, that might be a red flag. But man, it came out with they came out with somebody that does this every year came out and said and grades how the receiver like ever. Like he was like 100 out of 100. There right below him was I believe Jalen Noel. I believe it's Jalen Noel. And then Tet was third. So the dude like he knows ball. Like he watches film. So I think that we hear what we want to hear. And I mean I'd much rather have a guy that didn't watch film as a freshman like every other freaking guy in the league versus in the league when they're a freshman versus a guy that's uh, you know, I don't want to say raping people, but you know what I'm saying, like getting accused for sexual assault and stuff like that.
Well, the thing, I watched Canales and Morgan press conference. I don't know if you did or not after they they announced the pick and all of that. And they basically stated once Mason Graham went to the Browns, that is when they were hoping that the Tata will drop to them, which led me to believe Mason Graham was probably their number one choice.
Yeah, I mean, he was like I told you yesterday. He's my number one player in the draft. I think the Browns made out like so that's my number one player in the draft. So if I had a number one pick in the draft, I would take Mason Graham. They came out of this draft with an extra second this year and an extra first next year, and who I believe is the best player in the draft. Like that, I never thought that Mason Graham was going to fall to us. So never in my life thought that was going to happen. But if he did, I had it was just fathomable to me. But if he did, we absolutely would have taken him. I cannot imagine us not taking him.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm happy we drafted a wideout because our wide receiver group is already very thin. And Adam Tinlin is probably going to retire at the end of the season.
Yeah,
So technically, we have Cocker and Leggett. David Moore is not a long-term solution, and
yeah, he might not even make the roster. Yeah,
David Chinsler probably will not make the roster. My only concern about Tata is speed. That is the only red flag. Which speed you cannot, just like Ike, you cannot. It's not something. I mean, speed maybe through practice you can increase it to some degree,
mm,
but not really. But technically, prior to that, we really didn't have a tall wideout. I mean, if I remember correctly, Leggett is around 6'2", so is Kokyo. Yeah, and Leggett I think is 6'2", if I remember. So we have now basically a giant wide receiver on the roster. Six
yeah.
four, probably his wingspan probably reach to 6'5", 6'6". So it's if he can prove, like, if he's a commitment type of a player in practice and all of that, that could be a great pick for us. But speaking of
Mhm.
other picks so far, I'm a bit surprised. I don't know if you saw who the Bengals selected.
They did Shamar Stewart, right?
Yeah, which surprised.
Yeah,
Which is surprised.
I know. Yeah, they had to. I mean, they had to get a pass rusher. Like the what's his name is geez, why can't I think of his name right now? He's what 30, 31, and they're looking to trade him, and he still hasn't got a long term contract. And yeah, I'm going to talk about what Panther Bo just said because that's exactly right. The dude catches everything. One, which you know what nobody in our team can do, freaking catch the ball. So he
Well
catches
spoken to.
everything thrown to him, and he gives you a big catch radius. You know who doesn't separate at all? Freaking David Moore doesn't separate one bit. But you know who had all these balls that were catchable and still dropped them? David Moore. So you get Bryce, a guy with a big catch radius that doesn't drop passes. I think that's what we need more than speed. I still think we're going to bring in a scat guy. We're going to bring in guys that like we're going to bring speed at running back. Leggett runs a 4.3. Like we're going to bring speed on the roster. But what did Canales say? We want touchdown makers. We want somebody that when you know how Trimble had that ball in his hands against the Chiefs and it went right through it. Somebody that catches those high point balls in the back of the end zone. That's what we need. We need touchdown makers, and Tet always made a lot of sense for that reason. So I didn't mean to interrupt you, but going back to Shamar Stewart, it made a lot of sense with Bengals. I had Mike Green going to the Bengals just because he kind of seemed like the gritty kind of Bengals type guy. But that's also because I didn't think Shamar Stewart would fall that far.
Right, which the other thing with Tate that will work for the Panthers, I mean, technically Bryce, most of his throws are high throw. They are typically not the low throw. He typically doesn't throw the ball low. Whenever he miss, he always miss high. With
Mm-hmm.
Tate,
Well, yeah, sure, because you got to throw. Yeah,
with
makes sense.
Tate being 6'4", it's like a match made in heaven. Now, of course, he will have to practice hard and do all of that. But from all intents and purposes, he can be our number one wideout right away.
Yeah, let me throw this out to you. Baker, Baker, he wasn't Baker until he found Mike Evans. Why? Because Baker's kind of short and he has to throw high a lot. He got Michael Thomas. Like Drew Brees freaking took off. Like these guys, these shorter guys, Johnny Manziel when he had Mike Evans in college. Like these smaller guys, Russell Wilson. Look how he did with DK Metcalf. Like these guys, when they get these taller dudes with these big catch radiuses, man, they're that is a match made in heaven. And Cal, I mean, just look at the guys we have now. You got 6'4" Tet, 6'2", 6'3",
Yes.
Leggett, Adam Thielen's 6'3", and Coker's 6'1", and that wasn't supposed to be a guy you were going after. So now all you really do need is speed on this team because you got your big targets for Bryce.
So he's the speedster right now.
Right now, it's just Leggett, but we're gonna we like Jalen Lane. I think Jalen Lane is a Panther. I think watch out for Jalen Lane because I don't think we're gonna go Jalen Noel now that we drafted Tet. I think that's we looked at we looked at Noel in case Tet went before 8. Now,
Wow.
like thinking back, I would look at Jalen Lane as a guy, and there's still guys Elijah Moore's still out there, man. Like there's these guys, these speed guys still out there. And he said that they need to bring speed. Like he's like we got when people talk, listen, we got it. They need touchdown makers. Well, we got our touchdown maker, and we need speed. Let's get some speed back there now. I would say I think Jalen Lane's probably gonna be a Panther, and I think that we're gonna bring in somebody in the offseason. Sorry.
No, I was saying wow because Shador keep dropping. Wait, you're on mute.
Sorry, I didn't want to sneeze on camera. What did the
Yeah.
Steelers do?
They didn't go with Shador. They
What did they
went with
do?
Derek Allman.
Oh, that's great for them.
It
That's
is, but
great.
remember, all of us thought all along Shador, Steelers.
Hmm.
Shador and Jackson Downs
No, I
are
yeah.
weapons.
I can't believe Dart.
So,
I can't believe Dart's dropping. Yeah, I can't believe. I mean, this is was it like this is kind of like a Kenny Pickett draft. Remember, Kenny
yeah,
Pickett was the only guy that drafted in the first round, and everybody else fell.
yeah.
Kind of what it looks like this year. Yeah,
But I'm also surprised that Maury Hampton is dropping, to be honest with you.
it's because of the depth of the draft. Like because they don't once they go, it's kind of like receivers. Remember when receivers dropped a couple years ago, and then
Yeah.
4 picks in a row was JSN, Addison, Quentin Johnson, and Zay Flowers, like 4 in a row. And that's what's going to happen with as the run's going to happen when somebody makes the move, and it might not happen until like next until tomorrow. Like in my mock, I only had one running back go in the first round because I
Because
think
I,
the
yeah,
ones
sorry.
after Ginty, I think are like with between Caleb Johnson, Judkins, Henderson, and Hampton. I think they're all right there, really close.
Right, because I thought Dallas would make sense for Hampton. It really,
And they
really
could
would.
still draft them.
Right, no, but at the 11 pick or whenever they, not 11, when Dallas had the pick, I thought they would go with Hampton. But I'm sure, speaking of picks so far, the Colts, I'm sure, are ecstatic to get Tyler Warren at 14.
Yeah, I thought Warren was going because I thought Warren would be better for um, uh, uh, Ben Johnson.
Yeah.
Um, I've been on record that I love Loveland. Loveland is my favorite that fits in any system. But when you have like a guy like an offensive coordinator like Ben Johnson, I assume that he could manufacture plays for um, Tyler Warren. But Loveland's like a better version of like the Hawkinson and in my opinion, and the Laporta that came to the Lions. So Loveland does make a lot of sense for Ben Johnson.
Right, so that was a surprise. I'm not happy that the Falcons got Jalen Walker because now, for his rest of his,
Jeez, man,
as
what
long
the
as
hell, dude?
as long as he
Like,
is with the Falcons, going to be Jalen Walker against the Panthers. Extra motivation because it's from Salisbury, and you probably don't know this. About 3 weeks ago on WFNZ, Kyle Bailey show, they had his father on for an interview because everyone at the time thought he's going to be a Panther, it's going to be a Panther. And Jalen Walker is from up the road, Salisbury, North Carolina, basically
yeah,
20 minutes from Charlotte. So,
birth of Salisbury Steaks,
no,
birthplace of
Salisbury.
Salisbury Steaks.
No,
No, I'm saying it's the
Salisbury.
birthplace. I know it's the birthplace of Salisbury Steaks, Salisbury, North
Mm.
Carolina.
Yeah, so
I'm just
basically,
kidding. I'm just joking. I have no idea. I have no clue.
now he was born in Salisbury, NC, but Steve Smith used to say it years ago. I don't know if you remember when the Panthers released Steve Smith and he signed with the Ravens and the first matchup, Steve Smith
I
told
was
him,
there. I
yeah,
watched. I watched the Panthers get just destroyed by Steve Smith. Oh
yeah,
God, 2 touchdowns and 100,
yeah,
150 yards or something, man. Like he just torched us that game. Oh
get
man, I remember watching it and just being like, "Geez."
get your goggle on because it's going to be a blood bath. That's what he said. And also, since everyone in Charlotte was believing that Jaden Walker was going to be a Panther, the local station, a WCNC NBC, they are running a draft party show live on the air. And they sent a reporter to Jalen Walker draft party.
Mhm.
Because they thought he's going to be a Panther. So all of that was truly a smokescreen. Definitely a smokescreen,
I
which
I don't think it was. I think the Panthers really thought that they were going to get one of these wide receivers in free agency, and then they had to move to the draft. I really think they thought they were going to get DK or T Higgins or someone of that caliber. But once they did it, I think that's when they pivoted. And so I don't think it was an intentional smokescreen. I think it just worked out that way.
No, but what I mean is smoke screen by the Panthers is basically after the combine. No, not even after the combine. Like 3 weeks ago, at the end of free agent, at the end of free agency, Dan Morgan, Brett Tillis, of then last week when Dan Morgan spoke linebacker, and we view him as a linebacker, and we love to have him with the team, and he's phenomenal, and he's so good, and all of that. So kind of, I mean, I know, I know that the NFL is business, and there is a lot of dishonest and all of that in the NFL. But from my perspective, even if you do it in privately, you would tell the player, listen, we think of you very highly, but we are not going to draft you. Just do it the right way and morally, because honestly, if I was a player in the NFL and the team, regardless of which team it is, would talk so highly of me and so like they're going to draft me and then they're not, I would feel like, even though it's a business, I would feel like disrespected, stabbed in the back, and extra motivated to take on that team even more than any other team.
Yeah, no, it's hard because when you just had somebody like Leggett leak out what you told the player, it's so hard to say. It's so hard to do that again. These kids are like 21, 22. Like you can't trust them to keep it to themselves. So unfortunately you just can't do that. And it's just unfortunate, and it's a bit like you guys just have to know because it. I think that our cards were shown when Leggett did it, and they didn't want to do that again. Because if
But
people still thought they were taking Walker, then people could still we could still tr- they could still trade ahead. Like it could affect other people's board. But if they knew that we definitely weren't, or say that they knew that we weren't, and they said that Panthers are either taking Tet and Walker, but they told Walker they're not taking him, so we can move up to 7 and block them from getting Tet. Like it's that kind of stuff. I mean, it sucks that if that's the case, but that's the case.
right, which I wish, and I don't think they will say it because obviously they don't want to offend any player, but it would be curious to hear like who was their number 2 target, who was their number 3 target, who was their number 4 target, because I'm
And I'm sure
sure,
it'll come out. Yeah, I'm sure it'll come out.
nah, I don't think it will.
No, you don't think so?
No, because they don't want to offend anyone. They don't
Mm.
want to share all of that information, but it would be great. Would be great just so we get a perspective. I mean, if it come out, it won't come out directly from the Panthers, like from another team. Who, basically, I don't think Dan Morgan per se will tell us, listen, Jalen Walker was our second choice, second option.
Mm.
Speaking of the draft, I I'm surprised by the Browns Jags trade, to be honest with you, because
Yeah, I mean, it,
sorry, yeah.
if you have guys in your like so for me for me, I thought there was three guys that were generational players, and that was Hunter, Abdul Carter, and Graham. If the Jags did not think that, then those like let's say that we're that close, let's move up. But if the Browns did think that, and they're like, if we can get one of these generational players still at 5 and get all this, of course they're doing it. So it. Oh wow! So I just saw. Can you just because I'm not looking at it because I'm on my phone? Can you just read off to me all the players drafted since 17?
So one of the gosh, Empton just went.
I just saw
Empton,
that. I saw an alert about that.
yeah. So basically, Denver took a cornerback. I don't see on the scroll like their name. So Denver
Oh,
took a
so corner. So Will Johnson.
no.
Oh,
Someone else.
what's Baron? Yeah, it's Baron.
So Los Angeles got a great running back. I mean, my opinion, they got a steal.
Who
But
did?
then again, I'm a UNC fan. But I
Who got a
think
good running
Hampton
back? Chargers.
Amari Hampton went to the
Chargers, though,
Chargers.
right?
Yep,
Oh yeah, dude, that's a perfect place for him. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
and he,
Yo, what's up, Carolina Dad in the house?
yep, yeah. So
What up,
Carolina was going to
Dad?
ask
Yeah,
what you think of the pick, the Panthers pick, not the Chargers pick. Yeah,
yeah, dude. Man,
going
Hampton
to.
makes so much. Oh, dude, he's gonna be a headache in that division. Hampton, whoo, that's a hardball guy.
He's basically their number one starting running back. I mean, I don't think
Easily, yeah. Kamani Vidal's the only other guy, I think, really.
they had a guy from the Ravens. I forgot his name. Was relatively healthy last year, but
Mm.
forgot his
Oh no,
name.
yeah, they had Gus Edwards and whatever his name is. Yeah, he ended
From
up
the,
he's pretty much done. I think. Uh, well, yeah, I don't know. I can't think of his name. Um, but yeah, Hampton. Oh God, he's that that's Frank Gore all over again. Jeez, man, he's gonna be so good with him.
yeah, he can catch the ball, can run the ball. As you said
He's just
yesterday, he's like Chuba. He's basically like Chuba, except
God, that's a
I don't
perfect place for him.
I don't think Jim Albro wife recommended that the Chargers will draft him. Just like
Like roll, like roll. That's funny.
we cannot say his name in North Carolina and Charlotte, North. But his wife Julie recommended. She's apparently an NFL scout in her
Yeah,
part-time job.
apparently, right.
Yeah, it was a good pick by the Panthers. So, so I met Tampa Bay took Mika. Actually, Denver back from Texas, Jade Browns, and Steelers took Derek Emrin. Hampton went to the Chargers. So, as far as the going back to the Browns and Jags trade, I forgot who is the Browns GM. Andrew Berry. Andrew Berry is the Browns GM. He
Hmm.
a couple of weeks ago, I believe, he basically sold and told the media that basically Travis Hunter is like Shohei or Tiny. Basically, once in a generation type of a player. And then you end up and you're not selecting him.
Mm.
That doesn't look good for Cleveland. Now, they did get a lot. They did get a lot to move down, I believe, extra second round pick, an extra fourth, or maybe a swipe of the second. And also, they got one extra first round pick in 2026, which, knowing the Jags track record, that pick might be like in the late 20s, or, or it could be in the top five, technically, with the Jags' history of being
Mm.
bipolar type of a team. So the Browns next year could get Arch Manning if he come out come out to someone else. So they got a good pick, and it's a big gamble for the Jags because Travis Hunter, for all intents and purposes, is going to be phenomenal. But at the same time, just like we mentioned yesterday, Justin Blackman, we all thought Justin Blackman is going to be a great wideout in the NFL. And look at him now. He's arrested out of the NFL. He doesn't look like himself. And probably mentally, unfortunately, is not himself. So the point is,
Backman wasn't a he wasn't a Heisman Trophy winner though. Like Hunter's one of the Hunter's one of the greatest prospects as far as actual talent. Like I still think Mason Graham, because of the position he plays, as far as how he can impact a team immediately. I still think he's the best player in the draft. But dude, Travis Hunter is like Justin Blackman was a fantastic prospect, but he was always like Travis Hunter has had to deal with the fame throughout college, Heisman Trophy winner. Like it's not. I don't think that it's going to affect him as much, and he's not going to be called on to be the savior because they already have Brian Thomas Jr. And Mike, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What you were saying, it is, but every time you trade up, it's always going to be a like when we trade up for Bryce, it's being aggressive is how teams win. Rams were aggressive and got Jared Goff. They went to the Super Bowl 3 years later. 49ers were aggressive, even though Lance didn't work out. They were aggressive. Their mindset was being aggressive. They went to the Super Bowl 3 years later. Like trading up is always a good thing if you have if you trust showing you that you trust your scouting department, that you trust your plan, that you trust all this other stuff. Having a plan and being focused and being aggressive, I think is always good. And great teams and trade up. Great teams trade up. So I think trading up to get a generational talent is a good thing. And you just lost Kirk, you just lost Ridley, you just lost Ingram. Um, you need talent that's had the ball for just Trevor Lawrence, who's in his prime. So I love the aggression and I love the rebuilding mindset. Like know thyself. I love the rebuilding mindset of the Browns. We're not. We got young generational talent. Miles Garrett, you give him money. They're probably going to draft a quarterback, I guess, maybe in the second. Give him, you have Judy for him, and you get extra picks for next year and for this year. So I like them filling. I like it for both teams. I like it for both sides.
Right, and I
But yeah,
mean,
you're right. You are taking a big risk.
you are, and also the Browns, in my opinion, even though you say Mason Graham is a great player, in my opinion, they're basically waving the white flag on this season. They really are.
Oh, of course, because you get off. You can get off. They get off. Sean Watson's contract next year, I believe. Yeah, you get your guy Joe Flacco. He probably holds down the fort for you. You get your old running back in Chubb, who holds down the fort for you. You're competitive. They're probably a 6, 7 win team. You want to. They remember what it's like to be bottom feeders. You're not bottom feeders this year. They'll run the ball. Joe Flacco will steady the ship. They'll get young guys in. They'll develop, and they're looking for next year. They'll get two first, and then they kind of move up that way, which is, I believe, the right move for the second worst team in football.
Right, because the thing is also with Travis Santo. What's up, San Diego? Great to see you, my friend. Everyone, please smash the like button. Please help the channel grow and monetize. So, was going to say, Travis Santo also helps sell ticket. Now, I think in a way, Travis Santo is happy to go to the Jags. Another reason, his family is from West Palm Beach. So, it's a much shorter drive from Jacksonville to West Palm Beach, about 4 hours compared to Cleveland. So that can be beneficiary for Travis Santo. But do you think they're going to play him at cornerback at all, or probably only
No,
one?
I would say 90% wide receiver. I mean, he's just. I mean, he's just so explosive at wide receiver. Cornerback isn't as premium of a position. He'll play. I think he'll probably play more safety, just because of his ball skills. I think that that's going to be more of what what he's thinking versus what they're thinking for him. His cornerback is it's so much on the body as far as like the physicality of it. I think that you're looking at a lot more free safety for him, and but mostly a 90% snap share wide receiver.
And they could also play him at running back when ETM need a break. I mean, he has the
You can do
speed,
so much with him. Yeah, I agree.
so that is a good pick. I'm surprised the Raiders took Gentry. That kind of surprised me, to be honest with you.
I don't like it for them just because they have so many holes. Um, but Pete knows what he's doing, I guess, man. It's an offensive minded league. Yeah,
Goldman just went.
I don't love it for him, but whatever.
Yeah, Goldman just went.
The
Marcus
Packers,
Gold,
yeah, I saw it.
yeah. Which this draft, maybe it's just me, but it, supposedly 15 minutes, I believe, or maybe I'm mistaken. 10 minutes, I believe, maybe 10 minutes, but it seems like it's moving much faster than before. Like
Yeah,
the
everybody has their guy. I mean, you see, yeah, everybody. It's like it's you have to trade. You don't want to trade back unless you kind of just don't know who you want. And nobody wants to trade up because it's so deep at those positions. So I think everybody's just kind of like. I will say it's a lot less trades than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a ton of trades, um, and I think that's why a big reason why it's moving faster is because nobody's trading. It's about trades, which is
right and
shocking to me.
right. It's also a bit surprising 3 wideout in the first round. I'm not surprised about the running back, but I'm surprised no quarterback. And I'm not saying Shador or Jackson Dawes are a great quarterback, but it's still. I mean, I'm just looking at Mel Kiper draft board, which of course Mel Kiper. Yes, Shador is the best available. Is the best available, and he had him for like 20, 20, 25 picks. So it's kind of a
Who are you
surprise.
talking about? Sorry.
Shador. Mel
Oh yeah,
Kiper, Mel Kiper
yeah,
Jr.
yeah,
had Shador Sanders like for 20 pick is the best available player available. So
yeah.
now Mel Kiper is Mel Kiper, but
Yeah,
still,
I don't even know. Yeah, he's like, he's never right. Like he sucks at this. I don't know why he's pretty terrible at it. But I guess he's just kind of like been there so long that he's kind of the face of the draft. I guess I don't know. So
you,
casual fans are kind of like, oh, it's Del Kiper. I have no idea.
you know, with also a couple of players who are dropping, kind of surprised. One of them, Jihad Campbell from Alabama,
Did he get
and
drafted?
is not yet been drafted.
He's just gonna go to like he's going to go to the Eagles, and he's going to be perfect Graham replacement, and he's going to be awesome. Like that's what the Eagles do. The Eagles just get these guys that are super talented and fit
You
right
don't,
into.
you don't think they will go with Mike Green?
Yeah, no, it's another one. They just like fall into their laps, like these guys. I assume they go trenches because they're just the trenches first team. But they have so many. I mean, they have so many options because there's so many good offensive linemen left. I would assume that yeah, Mike Green would be great for him. Jihad Campbell seems like a perfect fit though. I think that they might go. I probably if I would have to bet on it and he's still there, I think I'd go Jihad Campbell.
Right. And
But
yeah,
Mike Green, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
speaking of Tata, I saw that the Rams were supposedly one of the team interested in trading up for him. The thing that it wouldn't have worked out with the Rams. A, they're picking so late in the first round, but B, because of the trade with the Panthers last year, they don't have a second round pick to give up. So
Mm,
it wouldn't have made sense for the Panthers. I mean, like the Rams, even the Rams third round pick is probably not in the top of the draft in the third round.
the Rams. I mean, the Rams didn't have first. This is the first round pick for the Rams. I mean, they didn't have first round picks for like 6 years. They know how to
Yeah,
draft, man. They're really fine. They can wait till 26. Um, I mean, they might draft Mike Green or I don't know, Talik Williams or somebody that they think that they're just gonna. We're gonna look back a year from now and be like, how did they keep doing this? Like, how did
right.
Braden Fisk fall to them last year? Like,
No,
how
no,
did Jared Verse?
no. The Rams were the team who was supposedly interested in trading up for Tata.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. But like, they're gonna be fine. They're gonna find somebody else. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah,
They're
I
gonna get
agree.
Luther Burden. They're probably gonna get Luther Burden. Honestly, that's probably who they're gonna get. Probably get Luther Burden, and he's just gonna be the best player in the league, the best receiver in the league. I don't know people have done their homework on him more than I have. I don't know what the whole lawsuit stuff with him is, but I mean, for me, he's the best receiver. Somebody's going to get a gem in him if he if the lawsuit stuff isn't.
Yeah.
Oh, Giants straight back in the first round. Here comes Shador.
Wait, Giants traded? Because I see
I
an
just got I, I just got I just got a notification that Giants are trading back in the first round.
because I'm watching it live
Ran,
on.
ran, Giants on the clock at 25.
Wait, but I'm in 24th pick with the. I'm watching on YouTube TV. I don't know where you're watching. Hey, Ancient. I don't
No,
know where.
I just got a notification. They're trading for the 25th pick. I know that they're not. I don't know if the 24th pick has been picked yet. I'm saying that the Giants are trading for the 25th pick.
Oh, okay, so let me give you the 24th pick, which uh, guard Devin Jackson from
Ja-
Ohio. Devon Jackson.
Wait, has Zabel been taken yet from North Dakota State?
Yes.
Where did he
Yes.
go? Seahawks?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Makes sense. That's why I had drafting him, I believe.
So yeah, you're right. So the Texans have traded a pick to the Giants. I'm thinking
Yeah.
Jackson. I'm believing this is the Jackson doubt. This is not Shadow. This is,
Okay.
but here's the problem with the Texans. Yeah, you're probably getting an extra pick in the next year draft, but you have so many holes at O line. You have so many holes at O line. Houston Texans. What in the heck are you doing?
Yeah, but they have so many O line guys left. Like he's got we got Ursare's on the table, still there. Got Connerly's still there. Inbound's still there. Trapillo's still there. Like there's still a lot of good offensive tackles there, and I think that's probably why they traded back because you're only going back because the Giants had what the 36th pick that they're probably trading.
Yeah.
So so you got 4 or 5 guys, 4 or 5 guys that are still. Oh, and Josh Simmons is still there from Texas. You still got a ton of good talent at offensive line. So if you can get your tackle of the future and still have another second round pick, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. Like right now, I'm watching on ESPN. So far, Shador is not on the phone. So now they're showing Jackson Doubts. So it's going to be interesting to see. Maybe it's Jalen Milrow. That would be
Yeah, that doesn't seem
because
like a J ball kind of guy. I think
because so
it's probably Dart or shorter or Shador.
yeah, I see Jackson Doubt is giving hugs to his family, but so far nothing nothing has been announced yet. Which the thing with the Giants, I know that they stated they're picking up a Tildo, Ken Tildo, fifth year option. I'm
The
wondering if
Tibbs, yeah,
I wonder if the Panthers will call the Giant and see what do you want for him. Like,
or Brian Burns back.
nah, I don't want him back. I mean, he care about his money, money, money. He didn't care about.
Yeah,
I
yeah, but
mean,
he's a year older. He's a year older. Who knows?
right? But I do you
We're
think?
not trading for either one of them. I don't think we're trading for either one of them. I'm just saying, like, I mean, um, I personally think that we're done with our defensive front, not our linebacker. I think we'll still bring in a linebacker. I think we'll still bring in safety. I think we'll still bring in corner. Um, I know who it is if you want me to tell you, by the way, who they're picking. Do you want me to
No,
tell you who they're picking? No, you
no.
want to see it for yourself. Um,
ESPN is always on commercials tradition.
yeah, right. Uh, yeah, they spend enough money. They're not going to bring in somebody that they still have to pay. Because you think if you're bringing in Tibbs on 5th year option, that means right now you'd have to have like you're coming up on Icky's 5th year option, right? And you
Right.
have to make a decision about that. You just paid Derek Brown. You just paid J.C. Horn. It's a lot of money that you're looking at paying on the defense already. I, I don't know. I don't think they're going to trade for anybody. They might draft like Hugh Robinson late, or next round they'll get somebody like Brady Swinson or Princely, or there's just a deep draft. So I think they're. I think what I personally think is going to happen is they're trading back in the second. So they're going to have two second round picks. One's going to be opposite tackle. Um, one is going to be edge. And then I think they're because they have so many picks, they can package some together, and then late in the depth rounds they'll get like I think I told you this yesterday, safety, running back.
The one who's dropping that they brought him in for a visit. It's not technically dropping, but he might. The linebacker from UCLA. Uh,
Yeah, he was always a second round pick. I don't think he was going to be a first round pick. Schlesinger.
yeah,
Yep. Yeah.
Joe.
No, we brought him in. I think we like him.
Yeah,
Um, but I think we'd be more likely to get somebody like Knight or Strutson from Oklahoma or somebody like that, just because we just spent a third round pick on a linebacker last year, and we gave money to Josie Jewell, and we just brought in that kid from the Ram, Roseman. So
right.
I think we'll get linebacker later. I just think the next two picks are going to be offensive line and defensive and edge.
Because Joe Pelson from the Athletic was in Charlotte, ESPN radio, and he mentioned Schlaxensel, pronouncing his name correctly, that he potential pick if they trade down. Now, of course, they haven't traded down, which
Falcons
I
are
mean
back
at the
in.
moment, yeah, at
Falcons
the
came back in the
moment,
first.
sorry, the moment we're
Sorry,
picking 57 tomorrow night, which we
I
have
think
to
we'll be
see.
we'll be picking
Yeah.
earlier than that. I think.
The
I
question
really
is
think we're
how,
going to trade up,
yeah, how
but
I how high would you go without margin, without giving up the future? Because obviously you don't want to give up a second or a first round next year, even a third next year.
I mean, if you say you give away 74, and I think they can give a third next year. If you say you give a third, which we have what two, three fourths this year.
Yeah.
So you give around the fourth from you give away our 74. You give around the fourth from the Cowboys, and then you give a fourth next year. I think you can move up to like 45 or 50, something like that. And then you still have eight picks this year, and you only lose your fourth next year.
So basically, you would keep your 57 or you would give it away.
You would keep no, you would keep 57. So you'd basically get like 45 and 57. You'd lose 74 though.
Yeah, so you're right. If Jackson doubts for the
Mm,
job, which Shador keep on dropping, which yeah,
mm,
let's see, trying to see who remain in the first round. Which Ravens, they're not going to take him. The Lions, they might take him because I mean at the moment the Lions have Jared Goff, Aiden O'Kill. Aiden O'Kill, we don't know if he's like elsewise because I believe he was coming off a serious knee injury before he was drafted. So not I mean as a project in the Rams trade. The Rams trade.
yeah, that's what I said. So Falcons. So
Right.
we'll see what happens. I'm glad that the Falcons are trading future capital, but I mean, there's still some guys on that board. Like, say if they get freaking, say if they get Mike Green, and so you got your defense. They get Jalen Walker and Mike Green. Oh, that's I don't want to go against that.
But
you know.
I would presume the Falcons probably gave up a first round pick.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure they gave her. So to come all the way back in, like, yeah, they have to give up a future because I mean, their second round pick is what they're 47 or something like that.
Are they
I'm
they're not
to get up
taking?
that far.
Yeah, yeah,
So you have that far, they definitely have to put it first.
right. But I'm curious who would they target because in essence, Jalen Walker and Mike Green are basically the same identical players. Bolton
I mean,
great.
they could bring in Tyler Williams, the big defensive tackle, Walter Nolan. Oh, that would be. Or did he already go? He already went. Walter Nolan already went. I'm trying to think what they could come in and get Will Johnson at corner because they just lost or safety. They get Malachi Starks. Like there's some guy because they just lost Josh Simmons. I don't like. I don't like it just because here's what I don't like. I think Kelvin Banks is the best offensive tackle in the draft, and the freaking Saints got him. I think that Walker is a top 10 guy that fell to the Falcons, and they got him at 15. And I think Egbuka could potentially be the number one wide receiver in the draft, and the freaking um, Tampa Bay Buccaneers got him. So it's like they've already nailed picks for me. Like, though I love all three guys that got picked.
Right, but the, I
Or
mean, but
the Falcons get Luther Burton, and we have to sit there and try to guard Luther Burton, Bijan Robinson, with Kyle Pitts, and Drake London. Jeez, man, don't like that at all.
is that what they got or not yet?
I
Because
don't
I
know.
was
I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying, like, if all these
so
guys
what,
scare me. Um,
so
I would love if they did it and they got like a guard or something like that. That'd be great. But
what,
I'm really nervous when they get it.
let's see who they will begin in which. Speaking of the draft, I don't like that the network go to commercials. I understand they have to make money, but the draft is one
Uh,
a year. F commercial free. F commercial free draft. Just
mm,
like Red Zone, which probably going to have commercials this coming season, but it's just kind of annoying to be honest with you. Like the
absolutely.
Panthers, like the Panthers is tradition. It's tradition. ESPN, when the Panthers pick, before they pick, we will go to commercials. Why?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It takes the fun of it. It really is. Take the fun of it. So let me see who the Falcons, the ugly belts, are going.
I know what it is. And I hate it. Oof. I'm on 10%. Just so you know, I got like probably 5 more minutes of airtime.
Hmm. Okay, so we can always do it tomorrow night if you're available. Second and third round.
Yeah, I mean, I can always jump on at least until my phone dies. Um, but yeah, give me an hour, definitely do that. But it's crashing pretty quickly because
Oh,
I was on it earlier for a
yeah. So
different thing.
you don't charge your phone hours and hours ahead.
No, I did. I'm just saying I was using it earlier
Oh,
for a
okay.
different thing.
No, no, no. I know.
I'll be fully charged tomorrow.
Okay. No, that is an okay pick, James Spears. I'm not so mad about it. I'm not so
I
mad
mean,
about it.
he's. I think there's three guys that I think there's four guys that had the talent to be the best players in the draft that are just kind of we don't know
Oh,
yet, and that's
you
Mikael
know,
Williams, Shamar Stewart, Mike Green, and James Pierce. I think those guys are guys that scare me talent wise, but
off the
they don't
field,
scare me right now.
off the field. Yes, character issue. Red flag.
Yeah, so did Jalen Carter, but you know,
And he's also from Charlotte. So the Falcons are taking on the city of Charlotte. I mean, Salisbury and Charlotte. So the Falcons, I see they got the third round pick this year. They gave up 2027 first round pick. This year, the second that they gave, the first round pick, pardon me, and the seventh round pick. So it's an
they
okay
gave this
trade.
year. Did they give up this year's second too?
I'm not sure. I think so. Yeah,
Okay,
because they
so
got the
second,
third.
third, and next year's first.
No, no, no. They got the third round this year. So they got the third round. The Rams, I believe, got the second round, seventh round,
Yeah.
and the first round next year.
Oh,
So
okay,
they,
okay. Oh, yeah, yeah. So Rams didn't have a second, so they're just saying, well, so they just moved back 19 spots, I guess, and then or 20 spots or something like that. And so they had their second, they got an extra pick in the seventh, and then they have two first next year. Yeah, that's some firepower for them. for for the um
Rams.
for the Rams next year. So yikes! And an excellent quarterback class next year. Woo!
I mean,
Rams are playing chess, and we're all playing checkers.
who is the? I mean, I know about Arch Manning and Carlson Edward. Well, the Carlson Beck. Well, the other quarterbacks supposed or Quinton Edward. Well, the other quarterbacks next year beside Arch Manning's.
Yeah, I can't think of it right now, but I think there's like supposed to be 4 or 5 that are supposed to be excellent. Next year is considered a great quarterback class.
But here's the problem: is Dan was the quarterback expert. Forgot his last name. Dan was
Orlovsky.
yeah Roloski. They, they they quoted him today on the radio in Charlotte. Basically, every year they go, "This is the best quarterback class." Oh, this is the best quarterback class. And when
Mm.
couple of months later, oh no no no, next year will be the best quarterback class, and next year, and
Yeah.
so we don't know. We really don't know
Correct. Yeah, we don't know. Yeah, you're right. Uh, but by general consensus, this year is supposed to be the running back edge class. Next year is supposed to be the quarterback class.
right. So if the
As far as the general narrative goes,
right, so if the
I'm
Panthers.
I'm at 4%.
Oh, okay, yeah, are you on airport mode by the way?
No, no, I'm on data because I don't have Wi-Fi in my bar yet,
Oh,
and
okay,
that's
no
what's
no no.
draining my battery.
Oh no no no. What I mean is, if you go on airplane mode, and
But then I lose my data. I don't have Wi-Fi, so I'm on my
oh,
data plan, and that's what's draining my battery.
oh, okay, so you don't even have battery saver mode.
It is on battery saver mode, and just because I'm
Oh,
on the data for an hour, it's just draining that much.
okay,
But I'll get Wi-Fi in here at some point, and it'll be way better. But that's probably going to be a week or so from now.
okay. No, but I'm assuming you probably don't have a charger with you.
No, exactly.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay, so let's plan. Let's touch
Tomorrow,
base,
yeah,
and yep, can go
cool.
live. I
Sounds
don't
good, man.
know, maybe 8 o'clock or whenever, and go second and third round and see how it
Yep,
goes.
cool. Sounds
Thank
good,
you.
man.
See you then.
Good job, bro. All right,
Thanks.
later.
Good night.
Later.
Thanks.